Hello and welcome back to my videos and my content and what I'm creating. My message that I'm really trying to share with the world right now is how much joy and harmony and health and flow I've experienced in my life just by really returning to myself and nature and like how things are meant to be. And so this is my sister, Catherine, and this is little Alice. So my sister has, oh, he's coming here. This is her second child. She had my nephew, Ethan.
Throw the water.
This is Ethan. So Ethan is 4. And as you guys know, I've been into the health and, living consciously for a while now, maybe since 2017, after I got really, really sick with my stomach and stuff. So I shared some water with my sister for the first time. This is the 7.0 pH water from my water ionizer. And we're filming this today because my sister, let's just say, I've been trying to share messages with her and help her with Ethan for quite some time. But sometimes in life when we want to help so much, that sometimes it's just, I don't know, everybody has to learn at their own pace and like divine timing. And so in our relationship, I kind of gave her space to be, and I really focused on my healing, and naturally she got, how do I say it?
Wanted to take part of it.
And so the past year or so, year and a half, she started asking me questions. She did some of her research. And so I wanted her to speak on this as somebody that's, more new to this area of conscious living and being a conscious consumer of the things that we buy, because it does impact our health and the health of our kids and of our planet and like each other, because we're all so interconnected. So I'll let her talk.
So the reason for me to get into with this water is because before I was pregnant with Alice, I read this article that was talking about how much plastic a baby consumes in the first years of their life, which is, it's crazy to me. But then you look at the amount of plastic that is in their food, first off, but also just like them drinking from a bottle. So she's breastfed, but I want to give her also a bottle and include some formula, because with my firstborn, when I transitioned from breastfeeding to not breastfed, it was very difficult because he wouldn't accept formula. So I want her to have one bottle every day so she can get used to it, because formula is a lot harsher on a stomach than breast milk. So I wanted to make sure that I was giving her the best water possible with the formula, because there's already, we just did a couple of research this morning on the best formula, and it's insane what's put in the formula. So if we can avoid that one thing and take away one thing, it'll be Ethan. It just makes it a little bit easier. And in stores, you can actually buy water for babies, for newborn, for formula. But they come in a plastic bottle. So right there defies another purpose. So buying it in this format, it's glass, so you're taking away the plastic factor, and she's put the perfect pH level for the baby, which is, we put it at neutral, which is 7.
But she wants her machine. She just is not there financially. She's preparing for it. But in the meantime, I'm sharing the water with her in the jugs.
Yes.
But obviously it'd be better if she had her own. But I mean, divine timing and
when you're at home with we just moved, actually, so a lot more cost of living than before, and with a newborn, as you know, when you're on mat leave, your income is a lot lower than what it was before. So that was also for now, this is what works for us, is getting those jugs for Ethan, for Alice. So that was my main focus for right now is this. It's also, once I start feeding her as well, you know, when she's going to start drinking bottles of water at some point. With my son, one of the things that my doctor recommended with breastfed babies, he was recommending to me, I'm not recommending for anybody. I'm not saying you should.
You're just sharing your story.
I'm just sharing that for Ethan, one of the things the doctor recommended, because he was breastfed, was to give him a bottle of water. So we may do that with Alice as well. So I want a good water. Like my bottles, this time around, I've actually invested and bought glass waters. I took the Avent glass ones. They're a lot more expensive, but then what I did, instead of purchasing 4, 5, 6, you know, in a whole bunch, is I just purchased 2 for right now, and I just clean them. Obviously, I'm not feeding her, like if you you couldn't breastfeed and then you were feeding your child formula, then at this point you want to purchase more, because that's a lot of cleaning. The dog's going off now. So yeah, that was our main reason. I want to take away that there's so much stuff in the first year of their life. It's crazy. Like there's a whole thing going around right now. I don't know if you've seen it, with like rice cereal.
Oh yeah.
And people are taking the like metals out, like
Ethan.
Like they're actually like, I don't know, it was metal, and then they're Ethan, stop. And they're putting, like, there's plastic in the baby foods and stuff like that. There's a whole thing going around. Like for me, I know that I'm gonna be Ethan, stop please. I'm gonna be making baby food from scratch, so I'm not gonna be purchasing food, but that's what works for me. I know that not everybody's able to do that.
But yeah, I'm also gonna share the water with her so she can do some of the food. So the 7.0 pH is used for babies and like young, like babies all the way to like 1 or 2. So you can make food with it. We're also, next week we're gonna make some creams with her breast milk, with coconut oil, and then with the water. C'est avec l'eau aussi, hein?
You can put some water, and then we're looking at zinc.
Oh, zinc oxide. Yeah. So we're like, what we're really trying to share is, you know, just do your own research. If something is not sitting right in your stomach, there's a reason. That's your gut speaking to you as a mother or a father or as a caretaker, and go down that rabbit hole and do your own research. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff that is not maybe mainstream or shared, but that could have a huge
impact.
Yeah, and those little changes can have a huge impact. Like just her switching to glass bottles for the baby, you know, that's one step. It's, you know, yes, it's more expensive, but like, do you really need 10 bottles, or can you live with those 2? You know, like, yes, it's obviously easier when you have 10, but I just think we have to take self-responsibility for the decisions and for the things we bring into our life and our kids' life. So
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of alternatives that I know it seems very time consuming. I know with Ethan, it was all about trying to do things the quickest, the easiest, on the go and things like that. But like, I've slowly started to realize the amount of, pardon my language, but of crap that is in kids' food and in baby food specifically that they don't tell you about. So, and I get that, like, sometimes it's just easy. I bought a few of those little baby things for on the go, don't get me wrong, because it is much easier and it's much quicker. And when you're on the go and you have more than one kid and you don't have time to do all those things, I get it. It's a lifesaver. It's just so much easier. But for me, it's just realizing really the amount of crap that's in these things. It's insane. So like for me, like I found with Ethan at 6 months, I just gave him our food cut in small pieces. So he's never really had puree. We, you know, it's a technique. I forget what it's called. But they say it's recommended that you just skip, you watch them, pay attention. And for me, like, I didn't really have to buy a lot of puree. I didn't have to spend time. I was just giving him what we were eating for dinner. And that, for me, that's what worked for me. And it worked for him because he had a bad reaction to the rice cereal. The first time I gave him, he was fine, and it was like mixed in with my breast milk. The second time he threw up, it was coming out in foam, and he was about 4 or 5 months, and the doctor recommended this. And I had been reading up on pages that you're not supposed to give baby food until they're 6 months old. Babies they can go the full first year of their life with only breast milk or only formula. Well, I don't know about formula, but I know with breast milk, food is just an addition to their needs. And I gave him the rice cooker, and he was like, it was coming out in foam. Like there was nothing left for him to like throw up, and he was still throwing up. And we took him to the hospital because we were freaking out. We were so scared as to what was going on. And we tried a second time because we didn't know it was the rice cereal, and the same thing happened. And that's when I started researching online, and that's what they said with breastfed babies, because their stomach is not used to it. And that comes to show you formula, as close to breast milk as it can be, is a lot harsher on stomach. And formula is really there for if you can't breastfeed your baby, which is completely normal. It's not everybody who could do it.
We weren't breastfed. We were straight formula from day one.
Yeah, our mom never.
So we're not like.
We're okay.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like, follow your heart and follow what's right for you. But even if you are going the formula route, like, I just invite you to go the extra steps to do research into even like, what are you putting that formula in? Like, what are the ingredients actually in that formula? I'm just trying to plant seeds so that you do your own research and invest time and energy, because I mean, like, their bodies are this big, so
and it affects. It's a big part of their growth and their development as well, right? Like, what you're giving to what you're feeding them. So especially in their first year, they do such a huge growth, such a quick amount of time. And so it's important that you pay attention to what you're giving them so that they can succeed in the first year. I mean, even if you do everything that you can, like, for example, my son came out and he has his liquid in his ears don't drain, and it goes against his drum, and he can't hear properly. He has a very, very mild hearing loss, but he had to have tubes put in, and I did everything right. It's just something that happens, right? So, but if you can prevent some of the issues, that I would just recommend to do a little bit of research. But I also understand the cost of formula. Like, I bought just one tub of the Enfamil, and it's a $50 tub, and she doesn't like it. So now I got a full tub, $50. What am I gonna do? Throw it out the window. So yeah, just do as much research as you can. But if you can help, one thing I would say is the water that you're adding with the formula. That's already one step. And if you can try to stay away from the plastic as much as possible, because I could not believe the amount of plastic. I can't remember how much it was, but it was insane.
And there was a study too that found that there was microplastics in the placenta.
Yeah.
So meaning that they are already exposed before they're even born. So yeah, I hope that wherever you are on your journey, whether you're a mom and your kids are 40 years old, or you're a new mom, or you're not even a mom yet, like me, I'm a stepmom, but like Mason is my stepson, but I have never given birth myself, or taking care of my own little baby. But I'm even starting now, because as a mom, we are born with all of our eggs. My mom, like Alice, is born with all her eggs. So my sister has already carried Alice's future kids, because they're already in her. So they were in my sister. So the decisions we make today and impact generations to come. And so I just invite you to do research, and a lot of stuff that's mainstream. There's a lot of greenwashing. So whenever you're buying things, really read the ingredients, because companies know that people are waking up to organic, to non-GMO, but read the ingredients, because what's on the front is greenwashing. So I'm just trying to plant some seeds. And if you have any questions about anything we mentioned, even if you want to read the article my sister read or me, let us know, and we would be happy to share, because this is why we're making this video, just to authentically share her journey, because I've been wanting her to like be conscious of these things for so many years. And if you're on my side wanting to help your family and they're not waking up, like just keep living your truth and they will wake up and sense it and come to you.
Yeah, because I'm the least conscious person. I love food. I don't care if it's gluten or free or not, or if it's organic or not. I will eat it, especially if it's sugar. But it's I'm not doing it just for myself. I'm doing it for my kids. I want them to grow up healthy, and I also don't want them to be as picky as me. That's one of the...
we grew up picky.
Yeah, like our parents would make, and I love them, bless them, but they would make us, if we didn't like dinner, they'd make us something else. And that's one thing I'm very intense with my kids is, Aaron, she just threw up. If you don't eat what I'm making, you're not eating, right? Because I don't want them to be picky. That's my big thing. So, and I want them to like vegetables. I don't like vegetables, so that's also another thing.
Yeah, I hated all, like I had to force myself to like them. Now I like them, but it was a journey. So yeah, if you can resonate and you want to share some of your stories below, let us know, because we're really trying to start a conversation and a movement and a community. So yeah, let us know where you're at, and we stand with you on this journey of just waking up to a lot of the BS out there. So
and I know that a lot of moms out there, whether you're a new mom or this is your second, third, fourth, 10th kid, our kids, we want the best for our children. There's ways of doing it without breaking the bank. So that's also another thing.
Yeah, because I mean, we're not
the richest.
Yeah. You're not the Jenners. Let's just say that. Okay. Bye, and thank you for watching. And we're sending you so much love. Bye.